certain traditions, you know, the cohort meetings, the retreats, the dinners, the certain things that we do together that if those didn't exist, the community could easily fall apart because students are busy. But then there's this central space, which is the First Wave family. And it becomes tight-knit because those students come in and become intimate with each other in the summer before they even engage with the rest of the campus community.
First Wave lineages were started in the first cohort, or after the first cohort. It was originally 15 people in the first cohort, I believe, and 15 in the second cohort. So what they wanted was a mentorship program, is essentially what the lineages are. You have someone from first cohort who has a mentee from second cohort.
A lot of First Wave students refer to their cohort their cohort members as like their brothers and sisters or their siblings, and First Wave students refer to their mentors as their parents.
That student is my grandmother, or that student is, you know, my great-grandmother, you know.
Your great-grand, your great-great-grand, your great-great-great-grand, and so on and so forth. So it's really involved.
Originally, it was like, this is how you survive this city. Again, a lot of the people that First Wave recruited are low-income students, first time really being in this type of environment. So the mentorship program was like, I made it through my freshman year and here's how you can too. And then it eventually evolved into this huge community. By the time I came in 8th cohort, there were many people who I just didn't know. And there were a lot of people who I wanted to know. And my lineage, I ended up meeting everyone in my lineage and really felt like, wow, I have a community here. One of the first people that I really got close with was a woman named Barbara Gonzalez from the 5th cohort. She's from New York. And she like would take me in and just like order pizza and we just watch movies. And she was like, you're in my lineage, so I can do this, you know? But that was like community that I needed.
My lineage in particular doesn't pass anything down, but the program in itself passes down something that started with Danez Smith in the first cohort. I don't know if I could share what it's a pair of underwear. And you aren't supposed to wear them. You don't wear them. No one wears them. But they actually were never worn, at least not to my knowledge, by the original wearer of them. They were just really cool looking underwear. And then like every odd number cohort, someone in that cohort gets handed, like gets passed down the underwear if you like are worthy. And there's no the eligibility for the underwear are like completely arbitrary. It depends on who has them at the time. And some people feel like they should pass it down to like who they believe is like the most promising artist of the next cohort, or who they have the strongest connection with, or who they think will be like the strongest leader in the cohort. So it all depends. I got the draws as a member of the 5th cohort, and then I gave them to EJ of the 7th cohort, and then, I want to say Francisco Velasquez in the 9th cohort has them, and he will now pass them on to someone in the 11th cohort. And you pass them down at the retreat, at the First Wave retreat in February, so yeah.